It's about that time. Two, three, mommy, release you. The time is 4 o'clock when the nation stops free money, free money. Take off the show on the airwaves without my free mind. Since the heaven died, you won't find no free money. From the ghetto to the office, hustlers to the sky. From the fuse to parliament, all wanna free their mind. Tell me it's wrong. I got to free. Good afternoon. Release you. Yeah, it's wrong. To free my mind. Release you.
You get you
Oh, wow. Okay. Star 106 hits a pleasant Friday. Good afternoon to each and all. Welcome to your Friday edition, your Freestyle Friday edition. Free your mind on your hit station. Good afternoon, everybody. I am the Natural Empress. As always, a pleasure to be in your company as we end the week. Trust you guys had a wonderful week. All right. If not, you make next week or you make tomorrow a better one. All right. We have the power. All right. So exercise your power. Good afternoon to each and all. However you got here, 106.5 on the FM band, channel 976 on cable. And a pleasant good afternoon to everybody on the Facebook. I love you guys so much. My Facebook faithfuls, Star 106 and Natural Empress on Facebook. Today's show is powered by Click, the beer of the Bahamas. Continue to share the vibe. I got to say thank you to KFC. It's the weekend. No need to cook. Stop on into your nearest KFC and enjoy the KFC goodness. All right. Thank you to FREESTYLE, one time for City of Hope, formerly Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Thank you to Solomon's. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the old trail, the new old trail, I just like the sound of that, then please do so. Brand new, totally renovated, and get ready. Cost Right, it will be opening before the end of the year. And that promises to be a beautiful store as well. Thank you to FREESTYLE. Thank you to ESC Distributors, King Alpha Sound Promotions, and Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group. They're doing it for you. You asked for it. It's back by popular demand. Second time around. So nice. We had to do it twice. All right. So November the 2nd at the Super Club Breezes grounds. That's the spot. And we're talking about all of your favorites in Rake and Scrape. Yep, they will be there. They'll be sculling it and mashing it and doing it all. New artists have been added to the roster. So if you were at the last show and think, oh, well, I didn't see it. No, child. Get ready for it reloaded. Tickets are already on sale. BahamasEtickets.com. And if you want to reserve your Sky Box or your Sky Pod, then you're going to call 394-0819. All right. So let's get into it. It's amazing how today's topic will affect people differently, because I'm hoping for the most part we all can agree on this one thing. All right. But I will say this, either good or bad, we've all had our personal experiences that take us back to our childhood, which we lived maybe some years ago, in some cases decades ago. But the simple childhood memories They pretty much remind us of our family, our home, our stupid little childhood shenanigans, food, maybe the pets that you had, or just care. It was just possibly a carefree era. Now, I suppose all of us had our fair share of simple yet um, heartwarming childhoods with our loved ones, sharing each other's joy, others' sorrows, others' problems, occasional quarrels. Nonetheless, all those minimal and beautiful lifestyle is a long lost memory for, I would say, the Gen Zs who will never possibly ever experience the joys that we did with growing up. Now, whether it be your neighborhood that you remember very vividly, or the house that you lived in, or the neighbors, or the enormous backyard, or the small yard, or the house parties, whatever it is, climbing trees, playing porky or porkin, depending on what island you come from. Um, all of those things make up your childhood. I can honestly say that mine was a very, very happy one. And how I even landed on this topic was I walked into the back of the studio. I went into Hot Studio yesterday, and Randy C was sitting there having lunch. And whatever it is that he was eating, it reminded me, and don't laugh at me, y'all, and don't judge me, but it reminded me of Hot Dog Day when I went to school in Freeport at Mary Star of the Sea. Good Catholic school, right? And I said to him, and I didn't even remember that Randy has no inclination or no idea what it was to go to Mary Star, but I was like, dude, this reminds me of Hot Dog Day at Mary Star on a Tuesday or Thursday. And he looked at me, he's like, Empress, what? I said, no, for real. And he's like, no, why would you remember how many moons ago, what day was Hot Dog Day in the school? And he's like, you're just saying that. I said, you know what? I'll call for a lifeline. So I text a classmate of mine who I haven't spoken to in a while. And I typed to her, I said, listen, got a trivia question for you. Can you remember what day was Hot Dog Day back in the 80s when we were at Mary Star? And I handed him the phone because I didn't want him to think that I was, giving her the answer or anything. And she texted back and she said, how could I forget Tuesdays and Thursdays? Fast forward. My guest in studio yesterday, there were two gentlemen sitting in here who are not on the mic. One of them went to school with me as well. And I said, dude, do you remember Hot Dog Days at Mary Star? And he said, of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I called Randy and I said, look, I got to share this with you. I say all of that to say how vivid and how beautiful and how memorable my childhood was. And it seems as if for some of my old classmates, schoolmates, they were able to definitely chime in on how wonderful those memories were. All right. So I thought, you know what? You kind of take for granted the things that you've experienced in the past as a child. Some of them are a distant memory, but if your childhood was as illustrious as mine was, right, then you would be, as a parent, you would be, and that's what I try to do and still trying to do, is to create that same experience, meaning a very happy and a very memorable childhood for my children. And it doesn't mean that you have to give them a whole lot. A lot of it is, some of it is experience, some of it is exposure. A lot of it, my mother in particular, I was exposed to a whole lot of good in terms of culture, in terms of etiquette. And those are the things that I take with me and I hold very dear to me today, up to today's date. So as parents, it is our duty to create lasting memories, and not just any memory, but great memories. So I want to take a quick break right here, but we're going to go into it. I want y'all to sit back for a second and think about the things that you remember. And like I said, it wasn't like I was thinking about, I don't even eat hot dogs anymore. You know what I mean? But it's the things that they were impressionable. These were things that made you smile. And when you think back 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, the things that can still make you smile about your childhood, I want you to share with me today. All right. So we're going to take a quick break right here. It's a Freestyle Friday. It's a stroll down childhood memory lane right here on your hit station. We're going to find out what's happening traffic wise. And when we get through with that, we're going to get into it. So you know what to do. Keep us locked. We're your hit station. We're Star 106 Hits.
Look at traffic. It's Friday afternoon. Palmdale never disappoints. Bumper to bumper traffic can be seen all along with their street.
What, Keyboard? The months you could have get for the no, it's the listen. I could sit here all day and just talk about me. I could like real talk, but I want y'all to. I'll set it off like Queen Latifah. I can set it off, and I hope y'all able to catch the wave. All right. Let's catch the wave. And you'd be surprised that as an adult, as we go through life and we experience life's challenges and turmoils and ups and downs and grief and pain and all the other things. And I'm now just recently starting to see what a lot of people were telling me, that in terms of grief management, you got to go back into a happier time, a time where you would think about the things that made you smile about your parents. And I'm gonna share some of those things with y'all today. Yeah, like real talk. Woohoo! All right.
Other than that, going home on Gladstone Road is already snowshoe from JFK. Got a slow ride along JFK, hitting the roundabout and then getting on the Gladstone Road. It's a wet space street that's really challenging.
And a lot of us need to examine our childhoods in order to understand why we are possibly the way we are today. And when I say that, a lot of people's childhoods weren't as happy, right? But that it's still worth examining, so that you know how to do things differently in terms of when you decide to have children, or the fact that you have children. You don't do the same things that was done to you to your kids just because that's what was done. You have to see it for what it is. It wasn't good. So if it wasn't good, don't do it. Don't do it. Just go the opposite. And ways in which memory can be improved in childhood, or ways for you to remember, is to just think about the time. You think about, like, for instance, you know what's funny? I could tell y'all about my kindergarten classes, believe it or not. And y'all probably think I'm making that mess up. But I can remember how I learned the alphabet. We had the alphabet people. They had these inflatables for each letter, and each letter obviously had a sound and something that correlated with the letter. Man, listen to me. Mary Star was the boss. Pick up anybody who went to MSS. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get into it. Town Center Mall. Kiss-a-thon and fashion shows. What is Kiss-a-thon? What the hell? All right, here we go. Let me see. Small things, but this is gonna be so fun. Star 106 Hits. Welcome back. Free your mind on a Freestyle Friday. It's a going down memory lane and checking out your childhood, being able to recall your childhood, the types of childhood memories that adults recall. They're pretty much linked to your personality. So a lot of us, you try to figure out why people are the way they are, and their personalities. Well, research on both children and adults reminiscing about their childhood memories is not it's not well established. However, considerable attention has been devoted to assessing the validity of strategies that can be used to recall early memories, particularly in situations where the accuracy of the recall is critical. Now, some people claim to have vivid memories from early ages, while others remember life events, beginning around the age of 5. You talk to people, some people are like, oh, yes, I remember when I was 2. No, you don't. I don't know, maybe 2. I don't know. I think a lot of people think they remember their childhood that early, but more so you remember hearing stories about yourself, or you look at pictures and you think that you remember, but no, it's really you looking at the pictures and putting together what people told you about that time. So what I want to do, because for most, and I'm hoping this is your reality, I'm hoping that when you think of your childhood, you think of possibly the best days of your life. And sometimes when you're feeling down or you're in the doldrums, I think it's a wonderful way to bring yourself up. You know what I mean? It's a wonderful way to cheer yourself up if you have happy memories. Now, the flip side of that is if your memories are not so beautiful, it's still worth recalling, because if you are a parent, right, or if you plan to be a parent, then you want to be able to break the cycle. You want to be able to have something to compare it to. So you look at where you came from and where you want to go. And when I say where you want to go, I mean what it is you want to or will need to do differently. So let's get into it. Let's talk about your favorite or your most memorable, memory of your childhood. And we could go as far back as kindergarten if you like. Well, to those that are on the Facebook feed, I can vividly remember just how we learned the alphabet. And I just wanted that says a lot about Catholic school and its accuracy, because I can remember learning the alphabet people. We had inflatables for every single letter. And each letter, it had a song. We used to have this like 45 record player, and they would put the correlating song or the record for each letter. It was wild, but I remember that. But if I was to ask you what your most memorable or your greatest memory of your childhood, if you could list like, I'm hoping that you have a long list, but if I was to ask you like your 3 top memories, I think for me, if you guys want me to start it off, something as simple as my parents both bringing lunch at school. Now, just think about school when some people was eating slam bam, sandwich or whatever, and my mom would step up with the good old KFC, 11 herbs and spices, and the door knocks, and the teacher, because sometimes the door used to be closed, and the door opens, and the teacher says, "Hey, Mrs. Davis, how are you?" And she's like, "Oh, I came to bring Renee lunch." And the whole class, you hear the sip, 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 because everybody's now plotting on your chicken. Everybody wants to taste just one fry. And here it is now, you've got the whole class attention. You are smelling up the aroma of the KFC in the classroom was one to remember, because everybody wanted a bite. And that's when you knew who your friends, who you want to be friends. And then who my real friends were the ones that were like, enjoy your lunch. You know what I mean? But it was a funny feeling, because, I was always one that wanted to give. And by the time, it was time for me to eat, I may have been left with a couple of fries, so I always realized I had a heart of gold and always wanted to share and always wanted to help. Another one of my greatest childhood memories, and this is for folks that are old enough to remember Benson. If you remember the show Benson on TV, I remember one day, because my mom was a special one. Let me tell you, one day, the same knock at the classroom door, and there was Mr. Robert Guillaume, which is his name, Benson's real name. Mr. Robert Guillaume at the door asking for me to be excused from class early. And I'm trying to figure out why would Benson, because I ain't gonna lie, I was a Benson fan. I used to love the show. And my mom made it so possible for me to meet Benson in living color at school. Like, who does that? You know what I mean? And that was a lot of fun because a lot of my classmates also like Benson. She also another time brought the Harlem Globetrotters to pick me up from school at Mary Star. So that was another big one for me. And then coming home one day to see Bill Cosby at the dinner table. Yeah, I've had a very illustrious um, childhood. Those things I remember. Simple things like um, the school plays. I was always big in the school plays. It's not funny to most of my teachers, and I want to say big shouts out to Claudette Durham, now Claudette Rowe, who can attest to all of what I'm telling you. Um, Whereas it's not funny, it's not strange to them that I ended up in the field that I'm in. You know, being in front of people, being able to speak publicly, because this has been a part of my life from childhood. Yes, thank you, Raya. So yes, I did have an amazing, amazing childhood. The things that my parents did to make it memorable, and it's just now that I'm able to tap into these memories and realize how lucky and blessed all in one that I was, and the opportunities that were afforded. I remember another thing. My mom used to work for Air Canada. So and Eastern Airline. And so I'm taking you back because Eastern Airline is not even, it's no longer. And we were able to, just for the weekend, she'll come and get you early from school, and it's like, okay, you took me out of school at 2. What's going on? Oh, we're going to Canada for the weekend. We're going to Toronto. We're going to the CN Tower, or we're going to Niagara Falls. Or it was, and for me, my early development in terms of my appreciation for music was started at a very early age, being exposed to artists like Natalie Cole. I saw Natalie Cole in concert when I was maybe 9 or 10. Another one, Chuck Mangione, who is a famous, I think, what is that? I'm sure Mr. Williams, you're listening. He's a trumpeter, correct? I'm going to see if we have any Chuck Mangione in the system. But yeah, I was taken to a Barry White concert at an early, well, not too early. By the time I was maybe 16, I had seen Barry White. I had seen Anita Baker in high school. The minute I got to high school, these were all the things. So my love and my appreciation for music started very, very early. Let's see. Now, this is where I turn it over to you guys now in terms of you recalling your earliest childhood memories that still at today's date can put a smile on your face. I remember children in my school trying to sneak around. Remember now, like I said, good Catholic school. I had some classmates who were interested in ring play. Now, y'all know, if you know anything about Catholic school, that's a no-no. We don't do that kind of thing around here. And I had classmates who would find the darkest part of the school behind a building just to form a circle to do sausage. Yes, ring play. I got some puzzle right here as you guys get your thoughts together, taking you back. Ring play right here on the Star. Boy, listen. Boy, Kevon, not even the Donald's, boy. We ain't had Donald's then, boy, in Freeport. KFC? Lord have mercy. When that chicken come in the class, it's over. You hear me? Over. I miss the school of childhood.
He wasn't asking me to do something.
No, I'm asking you if you remember Chuck Mangione.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, can you imagine a 10-year-old sitting up and that's the kind of thing my mom used to do. I saw Chuck Mangione when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Natalie Cole by the time I was 11. I saw Barry White by 16.
Wow.
I saw Anita Baker in 1989. I saw, let me see. Lord of mercy. Yeah, I was very exposed to music. Big time. So
I didn't see Anita Baker until a couple of years ago.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I saw her when I was in school.
and Frankie Beverly and them couple of years
Oh,
ago.
and he died the
He
other
died
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I toured with Frankie Beverly in the Maze when I was with Maxi Priest. So I knew Frankie.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah, but Chuck Mangione, I'm thinking most people don't even know his name.
No.
Chuck, let me see if we have it.
I think they may have
Mangione.
something in it.
Da 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 da. What song is that? Da 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 da. See there, I got it.
You got
Feel
it?
so. This one says feel so
Feels so
good.
good.
Yeah.
Feels so good right here.
Yep. 10. I miss the school of childhood. The lunch prices was cheap. Yeah, listen, the hot dog that I'm telling y'all about was $1. $1. We used to get a little red ticket, and that red ticket would go to the yeah, boy. Listen, the prices. The price was right. Let's talk about things that we watched on TV. That part I miss. Okay, here we go. Star 106 hits ring play. The sounds of puzzle right there, taking you back to your childhood. Now it depends on what school you went to. Ring play was permissible, but child, not in the good Catholic school. We could not. I mean, we should not do it, but it was done. All right. Gonna take a quick break right here, talking about childhood, the things that we remember, the things that simply still put a smile on your face. Keep it locked. More Free Your Mind on a Freestyle Friday right here on The Star.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advanced.
Oh man, not the Sesame Street.
Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Join the party. At Solomon's, we believe that variety is the spice of life. With the introduction of new brands and the arrival of a wider assortment of quality products,
oh, stop that! Not the
variety. You will find everything you need and want when you shop. So join the party today. Shop Solomon's for a wide variety of quality items right at your fingertips.
Jesus!
What's
oh
up,
my
y'all?
God! You're taking me back, y'all.
We're keeping it fresh. Yo, what up? It's your girl Sierra with the most hits all day.
Keep it locked.
Star 106 hits.
Star 106 hits. Welcome back. Free Your Mind on a Freestyle Friday. Today we talk childhood memories, the things that you can think of at any point in your childhood that up to today's date still puts a smile on your face. AJ says, I miss the school of childhood. The lunch prices was cheap. The only thing you had to worry about was going to school. You didn't have responsibilities. I miss the innocence of childhood. Now, let's compare that to today's child and the reasons why possibly our children don't maintain, or we have to work so much harder at preserving our children's innocence. Of course, the internet, the access of the internet and social media in particular is robbing our children of their childhood innocence. Also, I think a lot of parents don't realize by the way that they dress their children has a lot to do with it today, whereas you're robbing them of their innocence, you're robbing them of their childhood, where children should still allow, or you should allow children to still be children by the way you dress them. When last have y'all even seen barrettes, like clips? Everybody know the clip, and they used to come on a pack with each matching color. So it started with the rabbit, You have the white ones with the rabbit, then the yellow one with the duck, then you had the purple with the whatever and pink, and they came in twos. And you dare not lose them. You have to have like the cookie pan where you put all of the clips in the pan so you can always find the matching, and then the bubbles go in a different one or something because you never wanted the bubbles to, get all tangled up with the clips. Yeah, so gone are the days of the barrettes and the ribbons. Where have they gone now? I see ribbons are coming back in style, but more for adults, where you put your hair in one and you have the big ribbon. I see some of the high school children now doing it, but where have the barrettes gone? Can somebody tell me? Huh? And they were so cute. They always had a matching one, and you always wanted to build your collection of barrettes. All right, this one says, I miss the prices of street side hot dogs and ice cream. McDonald's and Wendy's of those days used to give you the worthwhile toys. And speaking of toys, let's not forget Cracker Jack. Cracker Jack was a big part of our lives because between that and the cereal, y'all remember cereal used to give prizes too? Like you would pour out all the cereal. And I know somebody's driving right now and laughing because it's so true. You wanted to get to the bottom of the cereal and you did not want to wait to eat it all. Oh, my brother used to just eat it. Yeah, and then mommy would make noise like she just bought the cereal on Monday and it's only Wednesday and all the cereal is gone. All right. Yeah, real toys. You didn't have to go to the toy store because kids' meals and kids' cereal made sure that you were straight. Oh my goodness gracious. What a memory. Yes, the toys in the cereal, the toys in the Cracker Jack box. Those were the simple things that made a child happy. Now you got to spend money on toys. You got to top them up with the Robux, right? They don't go outside and play Foursquare. They don't play hopscotch. They don't play. They don't shoot marbles. They don't even have the eye and hand coordination of playing jacks. Like wrong bag. I have jacks in my other bag. I'll show you that on Monday. I still have a pair of jacks where I do still sit on the floor from time to time. I don't have much time. Time doesn't permit, but it's a great childhood memory and it's still a great game, giving you good hand to eye coordination. Then, of course, AJ brings back a great one. Cartoons. Woohoo! Cartoons back in the day had morals, like Captain Planet. He wanted to save the planet back then. We knew about throwing garbage in the bin and what pollution was, thanks to Captain Planet. And he goes on to say, I'm a Captain Planet kid. Raisa brings back some of the beautiful, beautiful cartoons and shows that came on TV. There was Family Matters. There was, Lord of mercy, The Price is Right was a big one for me. This one says Scooby-Doo. Another one says I Dream of Jeannie. I don't think a lot of y'all even remember some of these shows like Brady Bunch. Where there was a family. I mean, that was typical for the Black family, but a family with 8 children was a big deal. Thank you, Robbie. Robbie says, especially when all the cousins slept at Grammy for the weekend. So that was a time of fellowship, a time where, you got to see all of your cousins and you got to try to, outsleep Grammy, right? And make sure that when she go to sleep, you do the things that you ain't supposed to do. And then there was great music. Let's talk about the music, the things that you remember. For me, it was the 80s. I spoke about this, I think, last week with my crew at Solomon's. The music, we're talking about the likes of Cyndi Lauper. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Madonna, Like a Virgin. You wasn't even supposed to be singing that. You know what I mean? And the music was absolutely a whole lot. Oh, Gilligan's Island, Lord of mercy. I bet y'all don't remember the plane. Who is that again? Fantasy Island. Okay, Kevon says, I remember Arthur. I bet y'all can't remember the words of the song. And if you could tell me who sang the theme song for Arthur, Kevon, I'll give you $1. This one says Little Bear. There was Hey Arnold, Rocco's Modern Life, Johnny Bravo, and let's not forget, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then the infamous Cosby Show. My question was, how is it was called the Cosby Show after Bill Cosby, but their surname was the Huxtables? Y'all ever thought about that? Why the Cosby Show? All right. And then there was, let's not forget, Willis and Arnold. What was the show? Different Strokes. And there was the Facts of Life. Don't forget the Oaks Empress. The Oaks. Hi, Terrell. And then there was, oh, yes, Raisa. My goodness gracious. First of all, there was the Ice Cream Man. I don't know if y'all had the Ice Cream Man in your neighborhood, but in Grand Bahama, we had the Ice Cream Man that came around. But I'm glad you brought this up, Raisa, because that was a big one. If he didn't have any of this, your day was crushed. The infamous Screwball. You eat all the ice at the top, that rich red, pinkish goodness, to get to the gumball at the very bottom. It was a childhood memory. Oh my goodness, it was something that we all looked forward to. That, between that and the ice cream sandwich, and then came the Nutty Buddy. When that came in, that was the ice cream cone with the chocolate and the peanuts on the top. Now they call that, I think they call, what they call that one now? It's now called, yikes, I could see the box. It's a blue box. Now in every food store you can find now. What is it called now? And then Raisa said there was Captain Planet and Carmen Sandiego. And let's not forget, as you talk about the Screwball, gone are the days of the cup. Somebody in the neighborhood's mom would always freeze the Kool-Aid, and you could get that for 25 cents. I don't know in your days if it moved up 50 cents, $1, but it was something that all the children wanted. And then there was Salty. Salty, I don't know if they still sell Salty in the school, but you know, that sliced sausage in the with pepper in a plastic, in a zip, not even a Ziploc, but the baggie. That's what it was. That was definitely one we can't forget. Drumsticks. Thank you so much, Raya. So that's the new name for it, right? And then there was, thank you, Shavanda. Christopher Cross sang Arthur. No, he did not. Wrong, 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 wrong. I'll tell you who it was. It was Ziggy Marley who sang Arthur. And I say, hey, yep, that was Ziggy Marley. Go and research that one. But so we covered TV, we covered music. Let's talk about style. What were you wearing back in your childhood days that, you know, when you look back now and you look back at the family photos and you look at the pictures, you're like, oh my God, what was that? Yes, Christio, 99-cent breakfast. We know that ain't never coming back. Because, yeah, breakfast is now $4. Some places you may find a $3.50 or a $3.75, but anywhere between $4 and $7, we're paying today's thing. Yeah, 99-cent breakfast, definitely a thing of the past. All right, thank you, AJ. AJ says, I miss the fruit trees of the yesteryears. We had plenty Gnep tree, plum tree. Let's not forget the good old scarlet plum, cherry trees. I don't know when we cut down all the good trees and the neighbors back then didn't mind you getting some fruit. Now you step in somebody's yard, now they're going to shoot. So you can't even do that no more. The dilly tree, the days of going in the backyard with the almond for the almond tree, with the rock just to open your almonds. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, we had one of those big trees too. All right, Christio says jeans, jumpers. Oh man, listen to me. What great, great, great memories. Them girls at Junkanoo in the throwback skirts. Let's remember, does anybody remember Bada? Am I talking to anybody out there today that remembers when school time came around? Bada was the place to be to get your shoes, or the good Buster Browns. Y'all, I don't know if y'all old enough to remember that, but yes, the Bada shoes, the Buster Brown shoes was another one. In terms of fashion, in the 80s, you wanted to dress like Cyndi Lauper. You wanted to have all of the colors with the leg warmers. I remember trying to get leg warmers, and my mom was like, it's too hot for leg warmers, but it was a style. We all wanted to looked the part, because in the 80s, that's when we had the videos. We were able, at least us in Freeport had cable. I ain't trying to, throw no shade, but we were able to watch BET and VH1 and MTV and Tempo, all those, that brought all of the videos. There was Boy George and the Culture Club. If you wasn't doing the Boy George and No Comma Chameleon, you definitely, wasn't, you didn't know. You just didn't know. Christio says, I remember R&D on Prince Charles. Well, for us in Freeport, it was the Columbus Theater. We actually had a drive-in. Now, don't come for me, but did Nassau have a drive-in as well? Like I said, don't come for me. I did not grow up here. But in Freeport, we had a drive-in that ended up, it turned into the Columbus Theater after some time. AJ says the stuff that Grammys and such would bake, the coconut cake, the little red and white coconut stuff, the real maple syrup. These syrup nowadays ain't the same as back in the day and had so much flavor. Listen to me. I don't know about your Grammy, but my Grammy made the best bread. I hear y'all talking about hospital bread and things. My grandmother, Mrs. Mildred Davis, right here on Farrington Road, made the best bread. Don't argue with me, okay? AJ says the fountain at Town Center Mall with the little fish always swimming in there. Wow. That's a memory, because that's so long gone. All right. Thank you, Raisa. Yes, we did. It was by Village Road and a bowling alley. Yes, we had a bowling alley as well on Queens Highway in Grand Bahama. We had a skating ring. Did you guys have a skating ring? Like a real skating ring, like indoor. Don't tell me about the outdoor skating. I'm talking about indoor skating ring with real floor and the real skating experience. We had that. Thank you. Tropi Kids. What's that? Help me out with that one, Kevon. I don't know what a Tropi Kid is. I'm sorry. Yes, the game rooms. Woohoo! Yes, Warrior. I miss the Gallagher challenges. Like for me as a girl, I used to challenge boys in playing Gallagher. Not to mention Miss Pac or Pac-Man. I don't think nobody was ready for me with that. Also, ballet. I find that a lot of parents are not seeing the necessity of extracurricular activity, especially ballet for young girls. Dancing up and winding up to the videos on TV or on social media is not dance. Dance is ballet, it's jazz, it's classical. It is something that helps girls with not only just poise and posture, but it does a whole lot to boost confidence. Long gone are the days of piano lessons. Like, people don't see the need to engage their children in real extracurricular activity, things that are going to help to mold and shape them, especially as young girls. And for the guys, for the young men, Boy Scouts, Girl Guides, brownies, sunflower, all of those things, I think people need to understand the role that they play in helping to shape and mold your children into great upstanding citizens of this country. This one says, remember Little House on the Prairie? Of course, Laura. Come on, man. Don't do that. All right, Kevon says, what Tropic Kids was the Bahamian Chuck E. Cheese? Pardon me, we didn't have that in Freeport. I don't know. Where was Tropic Kids, by the way? Help me out there. Thank you, everybody. Y'all look like y'all coming for me. I'm sorry. All right. Thanks for schooling me on that. Shavonda says, I teach ballet. Really? Oh, that's good to know. The games we used to play at kids' parties, musical chairs. Yeah, those days are gone. Absolutely. Knight Rider. Listen to me. Another great childhood memory for me was my brother and I never missing. And if the power went out, it was a problem. Watching Dukes of Hazzard, Midnight Rider, and what was the other one? The Incredible Hulk. Those three. If I call him right now, he'd just smile. Those are the things that bring back great memories. All right. Oh, it was where? Saved by the Bell. Yes, I do remember Saved by the Bell. In Harbor Bay. Okay. All right. Well, listen to me, people. We're over time. We could be here all day, but I want you, just even over the weekend, in your quiet time, just think back at the things that made you who you are today, the things that we deem as happy childhood memories. All right. Thank you so much. Had a ball with you as always. We're getting ready for it. Your weekend edition of Your Drive at 5 Years, truly alongside DJ AI, that comes your way at the top of the hour, right here on the Star. Yeah, people. There was a little wooden shack on the corner of Market Street and Corridor Avenue. Granny, they used to sell ice cream at 50 cents. Wow. I know she ain't the only one. And that was the glory days of TCBY. My God. Buying cup for 10 cents. Boy, y'all had it cheap. Cup was 25 cents, okay? Cup was 25 cents in Freeport. Ah, the memories. All right, guys, y'all enjoy your weekend. Think about it, though, for real, for real. You'd be surprised what you remember. Like I said, for me, what kicked this all off was I walked in the back then. Randy was eating something, and I was like, oh, my God, this smelled like hot dog day. And it wasn't even hot dog he was eating, but it was just like, wow. And then to talk to two people that remembered exactly the days, I was like, that's crazy. That's like real crazy. But yeah, y'all be good. All right. Had a great time. See y'all soon. Enjoy your weekend.